Welcome to Source BMX. I'm Van Homan. Today we're here in Hastings, England with one of the most progressive street riders in the game, standout part in the new Monster Video Freak, and a 2023 Nora Cup nominee, Jordan Godwin.
That was quite the intro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So today we're gonna take a look at Jordan's We the People signature Doomsayer frame. This has got a pretty progressive geometry with a 76.5 head tube. It's got the snag-proof dropouts. Is this the lethal combo you need to do some of the grind spin combinations that you execute?
Yeah. I basically just made it so it made pretty much all the tricks that I like to do as easy as possible. So obviously with the smaller dropouts, they don't snag on ledges and rails, just makes grinding a lot easier. And like you said, with the steep head tube, I'm trying to just make nose manuals as easy as I can, so put a steep head tube on it. And yeah, the higher BB is good for going through kinkers and crooked grinds, so you don't hit the BB and get knocked off the rail. And yeah, I feel like we just came together and made a frame that works perfect for everything that I want to do.
All right, so Jordan, having your own signature frame is quite an honor. So what exactly went into the process and working with We the People in order to create this frame?
They kind of came to me with the idea of a frame and let me have the reins and do pretty much everything I wanted to do. We got the geometries right. Luckily, all the geometries, we played about with some ideas, like on paper basically. And then we came to this one and it was the first sample and it just worked perfect.
So they just take your input, use their design skills and resources and make it happen for you.
Yeah, I learned a lot about geometries and stuff because I never really researched too much into geometries when I was younger, but I got to know a lot about sizes and how things work and top tube lengths and...
All right, so speaking of top tube lengths, you're running a 20.75. How tall are you and why do you choose this top tube length?
I am 5'11" and I run a 27.5 and that's just my preferred size. 27.5 it just sits perfect for me. It's not too long or not too short. I think it just
No, I mean that is interesting because you're kind of a taller guy at 5'11", and so the 20.75 maybe doesn't give you quite that room, but it probably makes it spinnier and snappier, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it definitely keeps it snappy, but yeah, it's just enough room for me. I kind of like my bikes feeling a little bit more compacted than the average, I feel like.
The Doomsayer, why is it called the Doomsayer? Why you choose a white frame?
I've never had a white frame before and I've always liked the look of it. So we went with white, and it also comes in like a trans brown, which I'm also pretty hyped on that color too, and then obviously black. So yeah, but white right now is kind of just one of my favorite colors, and I like the way it looks. When it starts getting a bit beat up, you can kind of just, I don't know, gives it a bit of character. And Doomsayer was just, it was around about the time, I still am, but like super into the MF Doom, the rapper.
Okay.
And he had a song called, I think it was called Ill Doomsayers or Doomsayers.
Okay.
And I don't know, I just like the ring to the word, and I just think it sounds, I don't know, just has a nice ring to it.
That's
basically.
a cool backstory. Yeah, it's interesting to hear the insight behind how some of these things get their names. So just what was inspiring you at the time. All right, so combined with the 76.5 head tube on your frame, you're also running the E-Claw Storm Fork with a 20mm offset. Again, keeping things pretty steep. How do these two things collaborate together, and what should we know about this fork?
Yeah, it's not the steepest fork, but I feel like with the head tube, it works well to make the bike feel pretty steep. And another thing why I like the fork kind of steep is because, so like I said, my back end is kind of short, but it's not the shortest. But when you bring the steep fork into it, it pulls the wheelbase a little bit shorter. So it has the responsiveness of a shorter bike with the small wheelbase, but it's still not, the actual bike itself isn't actually that short, if that makes sense.
Right, so it keeps it roomy, but responsive.
It's a nice in-between, I feel like. It might just all be in my head, but it works for me, I guess.
Yeah. You've got your signature E-Claw chocolate bars, 9.5 rise, pre-trimmed, no hacksaw or pipe cutter hassles, kind of a tighter box to keep everything narrower. Break down these bars for me and what kind of tricks they help you do.
Yeah, I feel like everything I've said on this bike is a nice in between, but for me it's a nice in between. It's not too big of a bar, not too small of a bar. There's 3 options. I currently have the bigger 9.5 option, and I think that with the front load stem is just a nice combination because it looks nice, a little bit bigger, but the front load keeps it low because I like my front end feeling a little bit lower.
So Jordan, what are you holding on to here? You've got the E-Claw Pulsar grip. It's made at ODI, kind of known for having one of the softest, most comfortable compounds. What do you like about this?
This grip is, I literally will not run another grip, I don't think. It's obviously made by ODI, so it's probably arguably the best rubber for your handlebars you can get. And it lasts forever, super soft, just feels good. And I don't think I can have another grip.
Yeah, ODI's really perfected that compound, haven't they?
They definitely know what they're doing.
Clamping your bars down, you've got the E-Claw domain stem. You mentioned you prefer a front load stem. It's got a 50mm reach. We've also got some kind of zigzag pattern here on the clamping bolts. Break it down.
Just a solid looking front load stem, I think. And yeah, I mean, it has a few cutouts, but I'm not the biggest fan of all these stems with like crazy cutouts and stuff. I just like to look down and just basically have a block of metal hold my bars on. It just feels safe. And I personally prefer the look of a front load stem. I just think it just looks compact and nice.
Yeah, so I think that's a general theme of your bike. You're just keeping things compact, stylish.
Maybe not stylish, but
not stylish?
definitely
no style?
I don't know. Do I have style? I don't know. I don't know if I do.
We'll let the people
the people can be the judge of that. But yeah, compact. I definitely like to keep things nice and compact.
Do your bars move?
My bars do not slip, and if your bars do slip, it comes in an oversized clamping space, and whenever I've had that, there is no chance of them slipping. So the actual bar is thicker, and the clamping space, the diameter is also wider, which gives more space for the stem to clamp on the bars.
So you've got 2 options. Yeah, you're choosing to run the more traditional option, but if you're extra burly, you can get the 1-inch option, and you're definitely not gonna have those handlebars.
Yeah, they ain't slipping, no way.
All right, let's take a look at your drivetrain. You've got the E-Claw tibia cranks. These things have been proven and tested by some of the burliest in the game. Sean Burns, Ty Morrow, won't run anything else. You're running the 160s, which is a pretty short crank arm. How are these things holding up, and why do you run the 160s?
Yeah, the 160, I went down from 170 to 160, and I can't see myself going back. It just helps, like making spinning so much easier, just your feet closer together. And like I said, compact, it just keeps it all tucked away nicely. And yeah, it just feels good for pretty much anything that needs some sort of like responsiveness to it.
So you've got the E-Claw Onyx Sprocket, a kind of slightly different size, a 26 tooth, which is pretty cool. Also, something that's interesting about the Sprocket to me is that it's pretty reasonably priced. A lot of people out there would probably think that today's top pros are riding the most expensive parts on the market, but this is pretty affordable, and it's on your bike when you could choose any sprocket you want. And so why is this your sprocket of choice?
About 5 months ago, I used to have a guard sprocket, 28 tooth, and I wanted to try size down to 25, and I also realized I never used the guard sprocket at all, never do anything to do with like sprocket stalls or anything like that. So I thought I'd get rid of the guard because I kind of like the look of an on-guard sprocket, and I wanted to size down just so pedaling was a little bit easier. So yeah, and the sprocket works. I've hit it a bunch of times and it's just fine. Like, it's a solid sprocket, and yeah, I don't know. So
yeah, this thing's sturdy. No need to spend that extra cash, and that 26 tooth, again, you're finding that perfect balance.
Yeah, exactly.
Not too big, not too small.
Yeah, I sized down and I was like, I was a bit worried going down to 25, and then I realized they did it it came in 26, so I was just like, that's actually the perfect in between. So
we've got your signature E-Claw Juggernaut pedal. It seems like you put a lot of thought into designing your dream pedal. We've got one smooth side We've got a space for metal pins if you would like them. You also have this thing butted up right against the crank arm, so you're just gonna come in with an Allen key from the back. That keeps the pedal platform bigger. Yeah, what went into this pedal and what do you like about it?
Yeah, this pedal was a lot of thinking about my favorite parts of all of the previous pedals I rode and just putting them basically into one pedal. It's kind of big, like the AK. It's got the eccentric platform, like where it's flush up to the crank arm, and then taking the pin, have the removable pins, was another Eclat pedal. And just, yeah, basically just putting all my favorite pedals into one pedal, and then we added or took away the grip from one side. So it's just ready for crank arms and sliding, and just, it's perfect for that. Because when I'd get pedals, usually the first thing I do is just get it straight on the floor and just take one side off, just so I have designated sides. And I think it's cool that it just comes with the slick side ready to go.
No, that's definitely a unique feature. Like you said, if you're into crank arm grinds or pedal slides, it's just like, yeah, there's just nothing there. There you go, you're ready to slide.
Yeah, and yeah, they're beefy. I mean, these ones have been going for a long time now, and I'll probably keep them on for another long time. They just keep going, so.
Yeah, I also like that you have the option to run metal pins if you'd like. I mean, you can just run all the plastic ones, but also maybe you want to hit the trails sometimes. Do you ever hit the trails, Jordan?
Yeah, actually, I like the trails. Yeah,
right.
I like jumping. Yeah, it's fun.
See, even Jordan Godwin hits the jump sometimes, so you might want to throw the metal pins in. Maybe your feet are a little dirty, a little muddy. You're gonna need them.
My shins are a bit scared of the metal pins, but yeah, I'll stick to the plastics. But yeah, if you need the extra grip, metal pins.
Yeah, I would put the metal pins in personally. Yeah. So it's great that you have the choice. All right, let's talk about your hubs. Let's talk about the E-Claw shift coaster. Aside from having conveniently adjustable slack, it also can be converted from a free coaster to a cassette hub. Pretty versatile. How do you run your hub, and why is this your hub of choice?
This is my hub of choice because it's just simple. It just works. I feel like it's smaller and lighter than a traditional coaster, and yeah, I've had no issues with this hub, and I've had one on for a long time now. It just works, and I think that's like the main thing, because I feel like a lot of coasters sometimes just tend to break. There's a lot going on in a coaster, but I feel like Eclat, I've got it down and it just works. And yeah, it goes to a cassette if you fancy it, and it's really easy to change. Yeah. So yeah, it just works. And
that's pretty cool. I mean, like someone like myself, I don't really ride a free coaster, but to be able to have that option, and maybe you just want to play on something, you can just switch it over, have a little fun, and then go back to what you're more comfortable with.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, like I said, it's just easy to switch it too. So it takes like 10 minutes maybe, if that, just bang them in, cassette or coaster, whatever you want. Yeah, it's good.
Amazing. The technology is just going to a whole nother
level. The future's here, mate.
Yeah, we are living it. So you're obviously a man known for his technical grinding. You've got the E-Claw dill pegs with the E-Claw hub guards. Why do you choose these pegs? How does all this flow together?
Just good plastic. Just like
they got the right plastic.
They just got the right plastic compound.
What do we got? We got a chromo core, aluminum core. Chromo core.
Aluminium.
So you got an aluminium core.
Or aluminum. But no, yeah, Ali cores just a bit lighter, and yeah, but they're still strong and they still hold up. And yeah, just whenever the sleeves go, just removable. Change the sleeves, and yeah, it's easy as that. They last ages though, so.
So you like the aluminum core just to keep the weight down?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like the steel cores make your bike feel quite sluggish and heavy, so I go with the aluminium ones, yeah.
All right, so you're running the Ty Morrow E-Claw signature tires, the bigger 2.4. These things have some type of cobweb technology in there to absorb impact better. Tell us about that. Tell us about what size and pressure you're running.
Yeah, I don't know much about the cobweb technology, but I know it works because I've definitely run some. My pressure changes fairly often, but I've had him low sometimes and just landed sideways and folded the tire, but it just stayed on perfectly and no flat. So whatever it's doing, it's working. And yeah, like I said, I change PSI here and there, depending on what I'm riding. If I'm on the jump boxes back home, I'll have like 70 in. If I'm just riding a flat bar, I'll go a bit lower to about 50.
Okay.
And yeah, change it. Nose manuals.
So in your new video, Freak, what, we're at 50 PSI when you film most of that stuff?
Yeah, between like 50 and 60 probably.
Okay, I like it. You're up a little more than a lot of today's street riders. I appreciate that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, a little bit more. But if I'm doing a nose manual line, the front comes right out. I'll take like, I'll go down to like 35.
Oh, okay.
Just to like, I feel like it helps with the balance.
All right, Jordan, I hear you're a bit picky about your seat setup, which led to the design of your E-Claws signature Void seat. Tell us what went into the design of the seat. Also, I noticed that you have a traditional seat post clamp versus the internal that a lot of people have today. So why did you choose that? Tell us about the seat.
So yeah, the seat came about, I just have like basically like a separate Instagram where I just make shit and it's called The Void. And I'd always get black seats and I would just write Void on it. And then Harry kind of liked the way it looked, so he gave me the opportunity to just have my own signature seat. And we just did it like that. I basically just wrote that on some paper, scanned it in, sent it to them, and then they got it made, and I'm hyped on the way it looks.
So really, you're not that picky about your seat. You just wanted it to say Void.
The seat itself, not too picky about, but it has to be, I have to have it slammed and out of the way, and it has to be a slim seat.
Okay.
So not so much picky about the seat, but kind of the position, and it needs to be a slim seat.
Okay.
Having a high seat, it just feels like...
Just in your way?
Yeah, I just can't move or, I can't move about on the bike.
Jordan, thanks for sharing your We the People E-Claw build with the people out there. Good luck in the Swatch Battle of Hastings this weekend. Everyone, make sure to check out the bike builder on sourcebmx.com. There you can get the pricing, spec, and availability for everything Jordan Godwin's riding. sourcebmx.com.